In my dream there was a skinny guy with a big mustache pointing a handgun at my sister and then at my dad, and then I stepped up and said easy now, wanting him to point it at me so I could attempt to disarm it. Then he pointed it at me and he felt strong, as a rock didn't budge when I tried the disarm, so then. And he half smiled, so I dodged more and tried it again. This time I caught him off guard and barely pressed the gun out of his grip. Then I had it and he kept coming toward me, so I cocked the gun back. It was extremely hard to cock back, then I had to pull the trigger with like 80% of my strength in order for it to fire. I shot him in the ribs and he fell down a bit but kept coming, so I shot him again and the shots were just like a BB gun, except it was shooting real bullets, not very powerful though, so I ran and hid behind a tree or brush and he pulled out another handgun, so I kept peeking out and shooting him in non-vital places, hoping he'd give up. Then I ran out of bullets, then he was reloading and I ran and jumped in my sister's car and took off with her. Dad stayed behind, because it was at my grandma's house. Then the guy got the gun pointed in at Dad, and Dad was thinking about trying to do the disarm, I could tell. Then Larry walking up kinda behind that guy and said in a deep voice, "You better not do it." Quote. Then the other guy acted mad and threw down his gun cause he didn't want to get his butt kicked. Then he walked in the house. Me and sis took off in the car. Later, when we got back, we was heading for home or grandma's. It was night, and where grandma's house was, there was this giant clown wall haunted looking house. So me and my sister went in and we went to the very top of it. It was like 3 or 4 stories tall, and at the top room we found that guy who pulled a gun on us, except he didn't have a gun this time and he was scared to death, so all 3 of us was trying to find a way out. We went down a floor, then we saw the exact same room and we couldn't tell if we were going up or down. It was so confusing, so me and my sister made a plan to check every door of every room, all of us sticking together and remembering, so that we could finally find out way out. We knew it could take a while, but it would work. Then we went down a few floors and everyone still looked the same, with 4 exits in each room and only one correct path. Me and my sister was wanting to try one way first and the other guy wanted to go the other way first. Then we talked to him and got him to go our way and he agreed we was aiming to go his way if our way didn't work. Then as we left into the room we chose, we heard fast footsteps. He took off running in the direction he thought was right, but me and sis were like, we are sticking together no matter what. Then we continued our way and we saw this big thick wooden door with a lock on it, and sis said, "Do you think you can kick it down?" And I said, "I don't know." Then I started trying. First front kick, second front kick, didn't do anything to it. Then said, "Let's make a little room." Then I started running into it with side kicks, barely even moving it each time. Then I looked away, then looked and hopped and looked toward the door with a big side kick and noticed it got unlocked. When I looked away somehow, then I couldn't stop my kick, so I went ahead and kicked it. Then I grabbed it and my sis grabbed it and breezed it open. It was hard, and once we got it open there was a go-kart outside of the front door. Me and her were like, yes. Cause we had a way out of there. Then we drove on top of the big hill and there were like a half a foot of snow on the ground when we made it out, and the sky was so black. When we drove on top of the hill, the clown wall of the building just consumed the door and there wasn't a door there anymore. Then we saw a toy Jeep on top of the hill plugged into a wall or pole charging, and sis said maybe we should drive this down there in front of the door in case the guy ever makes it out so he can have something to, and I said hey. Then I got into the Jeep and brought it in front of where the door was down the hill, and I noticed, when I got about 5 feet from it, that the wall was waving like water, and I know I could just walk right into it onto the other side, but if I did I couldn't come back, and I just knew that the wall would reach out and consume me, so I got out of the Jeep and ran up the hill through the snow as hard as I possibly could to escape from the wavy wall, and sis said, "Come on, Bubba." And I made it to the go-kart where my sister was and we took off. Then I woke up. In the dream somehow I knew that place was created because of the evil deed the man did when he pulled the gun on us earlier that day.